And as I said earlier, the twisted wreckage from the explosion is everywhere. Must have been a massive explosion, I can only imagine. Some soldier fish come swimming by as we're heading ourselves back up towards the surface. The ship at the bottom sits in about 60 feet of water. But as you do your dives, you dive at the deepest point and you work yourself up. And that's what we're doing right here. We're working ourselves up towards the surface. We've been down for about 32 minutes at this particular point in time. Because this ship is not too deep, we could stay down for a while. Everybody's stopping to look around as we're starting to come up. One of the surprising things about a shipwreck, as I told you before, is just the massive size of this particular wreck. It's over 400 feet long. And as you can see when we get back on some of the shots, how the divers are just dwarfed by it. And we pause for a second to see a little angelfish hiding in some coral here. The French angelfish are just absolutely beautiful. And these are the tunicates that I told you about. They're actually an animal that acts like a filter. Takes in water, takes out all the nutrients that it needs, and spits the water back out. The French angelfish are black and gold. They're almost like gold jewelry. They're very pretty. And he goes underneath a ledge to try to get away from me. And here's some more of those tunicates. And if you look right in the center of the screen there, you're going to see a nudibranch. A nudibranch, I guess you could say, is like a snail without a shell. And we're getting closer and closer to the surface, and there's a trumpetfish. And the beautiful tunicates and coral formations are all over the ship, and here we are at the edge of the ship. And we're getting closer towards the surface. And as we get closer towards the surface, of course, we get a little bit more light. A little bit more life there, too. Fish are jumping in and out, swimming all around us. It's a lot of fun to do these kind of dives. When you're out in Aruba, it's a lot of fun anyhow, because the water's nice and warm. As you saw in there, some of the divers were not even wearing wetsuits. Beautiful parrotfish, pretty blue. And what we're going to be coming up on here is what we call the box. And there's a box there that, I don't know if it was an ammunition depot or whatever it was, but you can see all the, I think these are herring or smelt, I'm not sure which they are, but just millions and millions of them. And I see that there's a diver back inside there, so I'm going to go back in and look around myself. And here's more of these blue striped grunts that come swimming by. Very pretty fish. Very nice. Yep, there's our diver. We got through the fish. Whoop, there's a whole bunch more of them. And as we come back in here and we look around, we happen to see that there's a trunk fish right there. Now somebody asked me the other day what's the difference between a trunkfish and a cowfish. Well, they both look the same except the cowfish has a little bit of a horns on its head. But they're kind of neat anyhow. They're all spotted and yellow and just gorgeous little fish. There's lots and lots and lots of coral formations and lots of fish, as you can see. So many fish that you can't even see past them as they school. And on the other side we can see some divers looking down inside there. I think they're looking for a lobster, I'm not positive. And you can see the other divers on the outside there. And if you've never dove in this many fish, it's quite an experience. As we leave there and we come around the side of the ship there, before we come back up finally, you'll see just the abundance of life that's down there. Every place you look, there's schools of fish all over the place. Now these grunts are very, very common. The red one's in the back there, that's called a soldier fish. That big gray one right there is a puffer. He's a pretty large one too. I would say that he was, probably close to a foot in length. And there he is again. He's coming around. He thinks I'm after him, I think. But he's a gorgeous specimen. And it's time for us to come up and close our show on wreck diving. I hope you've enjoyed it.